Some things hide in the dark, some things wait, and some things were never meant to be found. But here you are, searching. Welcome to Don't Fuck with the Shadows, a podcast where the veil is thin, the shadows are alive, and we talk about everything you were told not to. Hi, I'm Lynn. Well, I'll be going by Lynn on here. It's easier to spell. But I am a witch, a wife, a mom, a storyteller, and forever haunted. And if you have ever felt something breathing behind you in the stillness, you're not alone. You're one of us, and you've found a safe spot. Hey you, thanks for being here. I really mean that. Whether this is your first spooky podcast or your 100th, you chose to hit play, and that's amazing to me. I honestly don't know how many of you will stay and listen to me, but if you're here, it probably means you felt it too. That tug toward the strange. That feeling that something is just off. Not wrong, just different. So let me start at the beginning. Before I get too far in, I would like to let you know you may hear children, animals in the background. We have cats, we have dogs, we have two bearded dragons, a chameleon, a crested gecko, so I'm very busy, and my house can get loud sometimes. I am Lynn. I am a practicing witch, not the broomstick and Hollywood kind, but the one that listens to the wind when it changes, the kind that knows when a house just doesn't feel right. I'm a wife to the best husband in the world, a homeschooling mom, an animal lover, a storyteller, and someone who has always just been a little too sensitive to the world around me. I grew up everywhere: Alaska, Colorado, Wyoming, Texas. We didn't really talk about spirits or ghosts in my family, at least not until I was in at least high school. I'm not sure why. The first memory I have of my parents even acknowledging the paranormal around me was when my mom took a photo of this old house somewhere in Oklahoma along the Chisholm Trail. She swore there was a ghost in the window. But Mom, hey, if you're listening, do you still got that photo? Because that'd be cool to share. But I had the experiences long before anyone ever told me ghost. You know the kind? When something in your room shifts and no one else notices, or when you just know there's something hiding under the bed, and you're not wrong. Yeah, that was me. I would like to see a world where I'm not looked down upon for being a witch. Right now there are people that do not respect me because I am a witch, and if they knew that no one in my house was a Christian, my poor husband would probably get even more of an earful. But I'm tired of hiding who I am and who my kids are. But I want to tell you about the first time I knew without a doubt that something otherworldly was in the room with me. I was in grade school, visiting my grandma's house in Anchorage. My cousin and I were spending the night, something we had done before. We were in her room, curled up watching TV, probably cartoons. They were probably super loud too, like kids do. The house was quiet otherwise. And then all of a sudden it started. Slam! The bedroom door just slammed shut so hard it rattled the walls. No wind, no draft, no open windows, just slam. We froze. My cousin and I locked eyes, wide, silent, terrified. Then another door, slam, and another slam, one after the other around the house. Not the random, intentional, like something was moving fast from room to room, slamming each door behind it, like it was hunting. We ran out into the hallway, calling for my grandma. No answer. Then it happened again. Slam! The door behind us. The one we had just walked through. The air got cold, heavy, thick like fog, like grief. My cousin got upset. I felt paralyzed, and we screamed, not at each other, at it. Leave us alone. And then it stopped. Silence. The kind of silence that stretches, unnatural, the kind that watches you. We never told anyone, not even my grandma, but I'll never forget how that house felt, even in the daylight. Off. Now, as a witch, I know some places hold echoes, and some echoes still move. I created Don't Fuck with the Shadows because I needed this space, and I'm not the only one. We live in a world that worships evidence. If you can't measure it, it's not real. If you can't prove it, it must be a dream. But the shadows, they don't care about your proof. The things I've seen and the things you've seen, they don't fit into lab reports. They follow energy, intention, fear, magic. This podcast is for everyone who has been brushed by the unseen, called weird, too sensitive, too witchy, too imaginative. Here, weird is sacred. Imagination is power. And fear tells you exactly where to look. So when I say shadows, what do I mean? Let me tell you. I'm talking about the paranormal shadow, things that hide in the shadows, like ghosts, the spirits that don't pass on. I once heard my name whispered in a room that I swore was empty, but it sounded a little too familiar, the voice did. Real life monsters. I'm not talking like Bigfoot and the Chupacabra. I'm going to talk about those too, but I'm talking about the humankind, the serial killers, the ones who claim demonic influence, historical rituals when they had gone wrong, what happens when belief, blood, and violence meet, witchy stuff. We're going to talk about shadow work, banishing, dreams that come true. I'll share rituals and spells, but more than that, I'll share the why some people do them, the warnings, the weight. And then we're going to talk about cryptids, Chupacabra, Bigfoot, hellhounds. And what about the creatures that respond to intention, that act like they know you're watching? The unexplainable, dreams that predict death, timelines that glitch, symbols that follow you from childhood into adulthood, whispering in a language only your bones remember. Each of these topics, they live in the shadows. And we're going to explore them carefully. Things you should know about this podcast. The episode lengths, they may vary a little. Especially when I'm doing them by myself. I can only talk to myself for so long. There will be videos on YouTube for each episode. But for example, like this one, it's just going to be my voice, and I'm going to put some pictures in, introducing myself, maybe stir up some curiosity. I'll have the email address where you guys can submit your own stories and pictures, videos. But this season, we're going to be talking about this podcast is going to have weekly episodes, once a week, for storytelling, witchy wisdom, real hauntings, true crime, whatever I feel like that week. I hope to eventually have guests, whether it be other witches, mediums, skeptics, and those who have just lived through the strange. But most episodes is going to be by myself, where I just pick a topic and talk about it, share pictures, just get you interested. I really do want to hear from the listeners. Like, for example, I'm hopefully getting some stories from Haunted Alaska for the Haunted Alaska episode. I already had my aunt send me a bunch of pictures and a video, so that's going to be exciting. But for your listener stories, please send them in. Thanks in advance. If you had a dream that bled into reality, if you've seen a shadow move where no person stood, if you've ever cast a spell that worked or didn't work a little too well, send it to me. You can stay anonymous or not, but if it gave you goosebumps, it'll shake the rest of us too. This isn't just a podcast, it's a ritual, a gathering, because we're not just talking about the shadows, we're calling them by name, and they tend to answer back. But thank you for stepping into the dark with me today. This was just the beginning. Next time, we will be talking about the ones you see out of the corner of your eye, the ones that stand by the door, the ones that move when they think you're not watching. We're driving into the phenomenon of shadow people, who they are, what they want, and why so many of us see them when we're at our most vulnerable. Until then, stay curious, stay grounded, and remember, don't fuck with the shadows.